This is the Getting Into Alignment podcast. Here we play in the quantum world of possibilities. If you desire it, you get to have it. My name is Alexa Ray Smith. I'm a business coach and spiritual teacher for women in business. I'm here to help you unlock your personal power and tap into your magnetism so that you can manifest the most incredible life for yourself and build the business of your dreams. These episodes will help you plug into the energy of infinite potentiality and teach you the tools you need to play in this world where limitations don't exist. On this podcast, I'll be talking to you about energetics, mindset, embodiment, spirituality, money, and business. Everything that you want is on the other side of you getting into alignment. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Getting Into Alignment podcast. I'm your host, Alexa Ray Smith. My voice is a little raspy right now because I have been going ham on teaching lives on TikTok. If you are on my mailing list or if you followed me on Instagram or if you were on the live yesterday, you saw that I have gone back to what I said in April that I was leaving Instagram. So in all honesty, I was dead set on leaving. I've really not been feeling that platform for honestly probably like 2 years now. But my mentor that I was still working with only used that platform. So in order to keep up with her, I technically had to still be using it. But now that I am no longer going to ever again post on Instagram, I have been working a lot on TikTok, which you guys always know, like that's my jam. And I have been posting a lot more content on my YouTube channel. So if you are not following me on YouTube, please follow me over there because there is so much goodness. It's like liquid gold. I have been posting a few of the lives that I've been doing. I did say that I wasn't going to post them for free because I was just going to keep them in my Manifestation Academy. So there are 13 or 14 of them in my Manifestation Academy, which you can also purchase separately. But I am going to, from now on, be posting them to my YouTube channel just because we go so freaking deep, and I genuinely want to put these out for people who haven't done the money mindset work and they aren't really in a position to invest in themselves, because I remember what it was like when I didn't have that money and I relied on people who would teach for free, like free master classes, free podcasts, free YouTube channels. I know how life-changing they are. And I genuinely know that when you get to a point where you're ready to invest in yourself, like this is how you're going to be able to do it. So follow me on, not Instagram, follow me on YouTube. And when I do get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to gift a free tuition of my Manifestation Academy, AOMU, to one of my followers on YouTube. But you do have to be one of the followers on YouTube specifically. So with that being said, my voice is a little raspy just because of the length of time I've been teaching. But I really wanted to put this one out here because I find that this is one of the biggest things that I would say people really struggle with in their manifestation journey. And I get it because I lived this too. But I also know that when you understand this, and not just understand it from a logical level, but when you're able to embody this, I know that your entire life changes. So this one is so valuable. So what I want to talk to you about is the fact that you can't keep letting your circumstances dictate your reality. And I know that you have heard this 1,000,001 times, but I genuinely want to ask you, do you know it on a logical level? And yet you're still getting tripped out constantly by the 3D? Because that's where I find a lot of my clients are, a lot of my students are, a lot of the comments that I receive on my TikTok, like a lot of them are like this. And I felt called to record this podcast earlier today, but I was trying to like drink my coffee and let my voice warm up. And then I posted a TikTok video and I got like 3 or 4 comments from women being like, yeah, but it's difficult. Like I know that people know this, but it's hard when you're having problems in your life. And I'm like, the problems aren't the problem. It is the meanings that you apply to the problem, and it is the way that you react and the way that you respond to the quote unquote problem. First of all, what if you reframed what you perceive as a problem? What if instead of any time your mind tries to say, this is a problem, I need to fix this, when you go into those low frequency emotions is what I call it, and then you go into the doom spiral where you just like tank emotionally and consciously and energetically, what if you replaced problem with lesson? Instead of going, oh my God, I need to fix this problem and getting frantic, what if you instead said, what am I meant to learn from this lesson? Because I'm telling you, that shift alone, if you just did one thing ever that I've ever mentored you on, that I've ever taught you, any wisdom that I've ever given you, if you integrated that one shift, I know for a fact that your life would forever change. Because here is the thing, on a quantum level, how you are showing up in this very moment is what's dictating your future moments. It's what dictates what timeline you're in. It's what dictates whether you're quantum leaping into a new reality. It's what dictates if your reality actually changes or if it continues to stay the same. And what I see a lot of people doing is like they know this, but you guys hear me say this a lot, is a lot of people. And this is why I'll always tell you, please stop doing the manifestation methods, because a lot of people are putting so much time, energy, and effort into a manifestation method. Like it's gonna be the be all, save all. Is that the right phrase? And it's like end all be all. I think that's it. Anyway, it's not. It's not gonna be one manifestation method that changes your life. And the thing is I have found consistently that when people hyper focus on a manifestation method, they are not hyper focusing on how they are showing up, how they're moving, how they're thinking, how they're letting their emotions run their life when they are actually out in real world situations, when they are living day to day. Yet I have found 100% of the time, there is literally no exception to this. 100% of the time when I have found that someone has, instead of putting these manifestation methods on a pedestal, instead when they become conscious, you guys always hear me talk about consciousness is the most important thing. When they become conscious of the actions that they're taking, the thoughts that they're thinking, the meanings that they're applying, the stories that they're telling, the narrative that they have going on in their mind, their self-concept, their emotions, their energy, when they are paying attention consciously in the present moment to how they're moving, how they're being, how they're thinking, how they're speaking, this is the key. Like if there was one key, this is it. This is the secret. It's that you need to be conscious of who you're being in the moment. It's not about inner child healing because that takes you out of the moment. That's disempowering. It's not about focusing on all of the root causes of your limiting beliefs, because again, that's taking you out of the present moment and making you focus in the past, which recreates it. And if it was traumatic, you're reliving your trauma over and over again. That's why inner child healing is like, I don't know how we got here that inner child healing has become quote unquote shadow work. It is not. And I tell you this all the time, but if you've done inner child healing more than once, you do not ever have to do it again. And I argue that it's actually detrimental if you keep doing it. So the thing is when you are conscious of how you are showing up in the present moment, that's the only moment that you have control over. You don't have control over your past. You have some control over where your future is going, but you are co-creating. And if you knew how everything was going to work out from A to Z, you would be bored. Like there would be no excitement. There would be no surprise. Everything would just be like, even if you were getting everything that you wanted, it would be boring because you would know exactly how it was going to happen. And anyone, like including me, Anyone who has manifested insane things, they came through in a way that they never could have actually imagined. They were just working on their mindset, working on their emotions, working on their energy, and then being in alignment and taking aligned actions from that place. And a lot of the time, even the actions that you think are going to produce the result don't. They just put you in a place where you are able to receive from the universe because you were taking steps towards your manifestation. And while you were on the journey of taking those steps, the universe met you in a really delightful and serendipitous and unexpected way. So it's like, I feel like people are putting way too much power in their past, way too much power in their future. And it's like, you only have control over the present moment. And when you're depressed, it's because you're focusing on your past. When you're anxious, it's because you're focusing on your future. You can only control you now. And the thing is, if you keep seeing everything in your life as a problem, then you are telling your mind that you're constantly having to be in problem solving mode, which means you're not in the flow of life, which means you're always expecting negative things to happen because you've now given yourself a self concept of I'm a problem solver. So in order for you to continue to have the self concept that you've built about yourself, you need to have problems. And it's like, but nothing is actually a problem. Everything is always a lesson guiding you to where you need to do more work, where you need to be in alignment, where you're allowing yourself to entertain low frequency beliefs, low frequency stories, where you are allowing yourself to continue to take the same actions at the same lack consciousness or the same lack frequency. And it's like, lack plus lack will always equal lack. You can't hard work your way into abundance. You need to have abundance consciousness and abundance frequency to get abundance out of whatever you're doing. That's why the energy that you do a thing in is actually the self-fulfilling prophecy of what you're going to get out of it. And if you keep allowing yourself, because this is what you have to understand, you guys, you're the only one that's dictating your reality. If you are not going to be accountable for yourself, then you're never going to change your life. Manifestation, mindset, and personal development and healing work are all synonymous. You have to understand that you can't manifest without healing yourself. You can't manifest without doing mindset work. You can't manifest without doing personal growth. And what is the first step to transformation? It's accountability. So you have to start being accountable for yourself. I find that a lot of people genuinely want to change their life, and I'm gonna give it to you brutally and honestly here, because you know that that's my potency as a mentor. I'm not gonna allow you to keep playing into a victim frequency. And to be honest, the majority of you say that you want to change your life, but you keep playing the victim. And what I mean by that is, something happens that you don't want to happen in your life, and you go into, why is this happening to me? Oh my God, making money is so hard. I can never get what I want. Ugh, love never works for me. Ba-da-da-da. You are applying victim meanings and you're acting like life is happening to you instead of seeing yourself as the main character and that life is always supporting you and life is happening for you. But life can only happen for you if you're being accountable and if you're being present. Because when you're accountable and when you're present, that is when you can notice how you're thinking, when you can notice how you're feeling, when you can notice the energy that you have and the actions that you're taking. If you're not paying attention in the present moment, that's when you feel like you're just buried under this mountain that is life, and no matter what you do, you can't get any closer to the top. And it's like, because you keep putting yourself there. You keep allowing yourself to have the same response and reaction when life is happening. Because here's the thing, there's no implied meaning in anything. Trees, birds, dogs, plants, nothing on earth applies meaning to things except for humans. And you have to realize that most of the meanings that you are associating with things are based on your programming that, as you guys hear me say all the time, You've been programmed to master lack, and not just lack with money, lack with everything. At the end of the day, there's lack or there's abundance. There's a lot of nuances in between. But if we just look at the fact that we live in a world that is quantum information, there's a bunch of zeros and there's a bunch of one. Zeros being lack, one being abundance, like it's a computer code. Yes, we can get into the nuances, but just for simplifying it, there's either you're being lack based or you're being abundance based in everything. And the problem that I see is lack is so deeply ingrained and encoded into your cellular DNA and your energy and your mindset and your emotions that you guys haven't learned to master your internal world. And I know that you know this, you are the one creating your reality. But if you do not master your mind, then your mind will master you. If you keep coming up with excuses and arguing for your limitations, then that's what you're going to get, because your subconscious mind can only make you right. It can never make you wrong. So if you are saying that this is a problem, then your mind goes, well, it doesn't have to be, but this is what she's saying. So it's like you have to stop being so fixated on your 3D circumstances. And I'm not saying this is easy. This is the hardest work you'll ever do. That is why I literally have an entire manifestation academy that teaches you how to do this work, because it isn't like something you're going to apply for 1 month and then boom, you're going to start manifesting your dream life. This is a bunch of different things that you need to learn across a bunch of different spectrums. But ultimately, at the end of the day, everything in manifestation, in spirituality, in personal growth, all of it is coming back to you being in control of you. And the problem is most people will not do the work on mastering themselves, because every time something happens outside of them that they don't want to happen, they energetically unplug, they give up, they stop doing all of the work that they know is what is going to get them to the life that they want to live, and they start blaming their circumstances. They start blaming someone else. They start focusing on everything outside of them. Your 3D reality is always catching up to you. The only way your 3D reality is going to change is if you change. And when do you change? Only in the moment. So you say you want to manifest however much money. Like, let's not even put, because everyone's at a different level. I'm not even going to put a dollar amount there. But say you want to manifest X amount of dollars this month. Then you go to your mailbox, or you open your email, or you open your bank account app, and you got an unexpected bill, and your bank account is lower than you expected, or you get an email about something where it's like money that you didn't know was going to be coming out is coming out. And instead of you having the internal narrative of, well, abundance is my birthright, and I understand that abundance isn't limited. I am the only one that can limit the abundance that's available to me. So thank you, universe, for allowing this bill to be happily and easily paid, because I know that I cannot lose money. I know that money is an energetic exchange. So I'm so grateful to pay this bill. I'm so grateful that I have the money to pay this, because I know every time I circulate money, it comes back to me tenfold. I am so grateful. I am so happy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You have the ability to show up like that. But here's the thing, and I want you to be honest with yourself. I'm not judging you. You're listening to this in your car, in your AirPods, while you're cleaning your house. It's just you. It's just you and me right now, except like this is a one-way conversation. So no one's judging you. This isn't a pass or fail situation. This is I need to take self-honest inventory of where I'm at, because if you don't know where you're at, how are you going to get to where you want to go? I want to honestly ask you, is that how you show up when you get the unexpected bill, when money is coming out that you weren't planning on, or if it's more than you weren't planning on, or whatever? Because 99% of you are not. You say that you want to manifest X amount of dollars, And it isn't a test from the universe when the bill comes in. This is an opportunity for you to embody what you said you were going to embody. Most of you don't embody it. As soon as the bill comes in, you go, oh my God, I always have so many bills. Like, how am I going to pay this? And I need to have money for this and this and this and this. And I don't have enough money. And every time I spend money, I lose money. And money is always going out of my bank account. And I'm just never going to be able to have enough money. And I'm never going to be able to be financially free. And be honest with yourself. Do you show up as person one, example one, or are you showing up as example two? Because the majority of you are going to show up as example two. And that proves to yourself and the universe that you are genuinely not in alignment with abundance. You are genuinely not embodying the frequency of abundance or embodying the consciousness of abundance. The universe hasn't decided what's available to you. It isn't dictating what gets to happen for you. Money isn't deciding what gets to happen for you. It's all energy that's responding to your dominant vibration. So you can't say that you want to manifest money and then anytime money comes to you in the form of a bill or something of that nature, you end up freaking out because an abundant person, a wealthy person, a rich person does not freak out when a bill comes in. They go, I'm so grateful. I'm so happy that I can pay this. I know that I always have more than enough money. Money is the easiest thing in the world for me to manifest. I am so happy that this bill has come in because this is just a chance for me to circulate more money. And I understand that when I circulate money, I am doing my energetic part. I am not going to drop my frequency. I'm not going to drop my consciousness. I'm just going to pay the bill and go on about my day abundantly. And I get that money is the most difficult thing for most people. And that's why I always use this example, because everybody wants more money. Yet 99% of people aren't doing what's required to actually manifest the money. And this is a telltale sign of whether you're in alignment with it or not. And what you have to understand is the universe is never going to give you more than you can handle. If you can't handle a $300 bill, you sure as fuck can't handle manifesting $3,000, $10,000, $20,000. You understand that, right? Like, logically, you have to understand that. If you can't handle a bill that is 1/3 of the money that you are saying that you want to manifest, the universe is like, well, she's not ready for it. She's not available for it. She couldn't hold this much money because she's freaking the fuck out over 1/3 of that. So, and that's the thing is when you freak the fuck out, you're showing that you have a dysregulated nervous system. So, and you have to have the energetic capacity to hold more money. That's what money is. It's energy. If you don't have the energetic capacity to hold even a fraction of what you're saying you want to manifest, then your nervous system would become so dysregulated that it would be unhealthy for you to have more. And most people, quite simply, don't understand this. And that's literally why I have the money membership. I listened to you guys when you were like, I really am struggling with money. So it is my only low ticket offer. If you're not in the money membership yet, you can use code TikTok, even though I got this isn't TikTok, whatever. You can use code TikTok, all capital letters, and you will save 1 month off of the membership, which basically allows you to, I think the payment goes down like $10 a month is pretty much how it equates out. But if you're really, really struggling with money, then I highly encourage you to get into the money membership because I teach you how to master abundance, not just logically, but in your body, how to regulate your nervous system, how to recode your cellular DNA towards wealth, how to have an abundance mindset. And that what I'm saying here, though, can be applied to any situation. It could be applied to your dream relationship, your dream whatever. Like this can be applied to anything. But quite honestly, everyone teaches you that it's a test. It's not a fucking test. The universe is just responding to you, to your consciousness, and to your frequency. So you have to honestly ask yourself, if you haven't been able to manifest what you want yet, Are you actually available for it? Because the majority of time, you're in this constricted energy with this dysregulated nervous system, with this lack frequency, and with this lack consciousness. And it's like lack plus lack equals lack 100% of the time. And it's not that when your situation changes, you're going to change, because you're the one dictating your reality. You have to change. And like I said earlier, your reality is always catching up to you. So if you keep entertaining lack frequencies and lack consciousness and allowing you to be in a dysregulated state in your body, then you're not changing. So there's no way your reality can change. And people are like, but I'll feel wealthy when I get the money. No, every wealthy person will tell you, I felt wealthy and I worked on my wealth consciousness and I worked on my wealth frequency. And so I became wealthy. 88% of millionaires are self-made. That means they are rags to riches stories. They weren't born into wealth. They weren't born with a silver spoon. They didn't get lucky. Every wealthy person will matter-of-factly tell you, whether they're spiritual or not, they will tell you that money is energy. And money is always responding to you. So if every time the thought of money comes up, you go into dysregulation, you go into lack, then you're telling money that you want lack of money. Whether that's what you consciously want or not, it's not just your consciousness. It's not just your conscious thoughts, it's your consciousness and it's your frequency. And it's like the work in manifestation is 99.9% you working on you. Literally. Because if you don't work on you, the universe can't co-create with you the life that you desire. The universe could be trying to give you opportunity after opportunity, money after money. But if you're constantly blocking yourself off and taking yourself out of alignment with it, you aren't in an energetic state to receive. And it's like, I just see people driving themselves insane and getting so frustrated and getting so disappointed and getting so burnt out because the reality isn't changing. And when you get into my world, if you become a student of mine, if you become one of my clients, I'm like, have you changed though? Have you changed? Because you're going to feel exhausted in manifestation if you keep expecting your reality to change, but deep down, you haven't changed. And the thing is because your reality is always catching up to you, you have to hold a new dominant vibration, even and especially when it quote unquote looks like it isn't working. It quote unquote looks like nothing's happening. It quote unquote looks like it's getting worse. Because these are opportunities from the universe for you to embody a new consciousness and a new frequency so that way you show up differently. Because if you were able to show up differently when the bill came in, if you were able to show up differently when the conversation of money comes up, then you are now signaling to the universe and signaling to money that you're available for it, that you're ready for it, that you actually can hold it, that you can actually receive it, that you're actually in alignment with it. And I'm not saying that this is easy work. This is the hardest fucking thing that you'll ever do, because you have been programmed to believe that you can only feel a certain way once you get a certain thing. But you guys have to, I get asked all of the time, Alexa, how do I rewire my mind? And I'm like, you have to challenge it. If you genuinely challenged everything, and I mean everything that you've ever been told about reality, you would say, wait a minute, that doesn't make any fucking sense. If you look at every single person who is still believing that narrative that I have to get and then I can feel, 100% of them are broke, miserable, unhappy, depressed, anxious, stressed out, burnt out, 100% of the time. Yet when you look at everyone that has decided, I am taking my power back, I am going to control how I feel, how I show up, how I move, how I speak, how I think right now, knowing and trusting that when I change, my reality will change. And I'm not forcing it, because forcing causes resistance on the energetic realm and on the energetic level. When you flow with life in the present moment, in an empowered state, in an empowered consciousness, that's when you start collapsing the timelines. That's when you start quantum leaping. But it isn't you thinking a thought once and then when your reality doesn't immediately give you evidence or proof or validation, that you drop everything that you know mentally about manifestation. Because then that's when you get frustrated. That's when you get annoyed. That's when you get bitter. That's when, like, I always use human design. That's when the not self themes in human design start running your life because you're not in flow. That's why I always say that your human design signature and your not self themes are the signposts guiding you as to whether you're in alignment with or not. When you're in flow with the universe, you are going to be operating from your signature. And when you are out of flow, out of alignment with the universe, you are going to be operating in your not self theme. So you have to honestly say, okay, since I know that I'm the one creating my reality and I cannot play a victim, I cannot blame anyone else, I cannot keep focusing on my 3D, because if I keep focusing on my 3D, I'm going to keep feeling into my 3D, which means I'm going to be living Groundhog's Day over and over and over again. You have to understand that you have to stop focusing on your 3D so much. You have to start telling the story that you want to tell now. You have to start believing the beliefs that you want to tell now. You have to start processing your emotions. Emotional intelligence is one of the key ingredients to being able to manifest your reality. If you can't lead your emotions, if you can't self-lead yourself, that's when this whole manifestation thing is going to feel like it's quote unquote not working or quote unquote hard. It's honestly not, but you have to be in alignment with the version of you that you're trying to live, with the self-concept that you desire to have, with the life that you're desiring to create. You can't keep getting frustrated, angry, bitter, or disappointed when things don't immediately happen, because everyone who has mastered manifestation has mastered themselves, and they understand that the timeline doesn't matter. They know that it is happening. So they keep moving like it is. They keep thinking like it is. They keep vibrating like it is. And anytime in the moment they notice their energy drops, or their emotions go into a low frequency, or they notice that their mindset goes towards a limiting belief, they don't play in that. They don't entertain it. They don't start believing that. They notice and they say, oh, wait a minute. I noticed that I'm thinking a shitty thought. Oh, wait a minute. I noticed I'm telling a shitty story. Oh, wait a minute. I noticed that I'm going into the doom spiral of low frequency emotions. Let me look at this. You have to become curious of how you are responding in the moment. Stop doing the inner child healing. Stop looking at all of the root causes, because you only have the power to change yourself now. And that means you have to notice what's tripping you up now, because the faster you can realize what keeps taking you out, then you get to clean that up. And that's why you always hear me say, clean it up, clean up your mindset, clean up your energetics. Because when you learn how to clean it up in the moment, that's when you're human, right? You're not going to be perfect, but you're going to notice, oh, wait a minute. This conversation happened, or I was around this person, or I was in this environment, or I started allowing myself to think this thing. That's what is taking me out. Okay, how can I show up differently? How can I respond differently? It's always about you. Manifestation is you versus you. It does not matter what's happening in your 3D. It does not matter what anyone else is saying. It does not matter what anyone else is thinking. You have to master you and stop giving your power away to everything outside of you, because you're never going to be the creator of your reality if you keep doing that. And you were born for fucking greatness. So you have to realize that it isn't about anyone else. At the end of the day, it never is and it never will be. It's never about what's happening outside of you. It is always about what's happening inside of you, because what's inside of you is creating what's outside of you. And that isn't just spiritual. It is backed by neuroscience and it is backed by quantum physics. So start doing the work on you. And if you're like, I've been trying and I really struggle with this, then get into mentorship with me or get into my Manifestation Academy. If you're in mentorship with me, you get access to all of my programs. So if you genuinely want to change, if you genuinely want to do this work and you're struggling, then set yourself up for success. Get into a mentorship container or get into a program that can help you with this. Because until you learn to do this, you're never going to manifest your dream life. The faster you learn to do this, the faster you're going to manifest your dream life. All right, that's where I'm going to leave this one today. And I don't know if I've mentioned yet on the podcast. Obviously, you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, but if you're somebody that wants to share this podcast with a friend or with somebody else, you can find this also on my YouTube channel. I am uploading all of my podcast episodes to YouTube. No, my podcast will never be on Spotify until they learn how to work technology and they don't require you to have an RSS feed, because it makes no sense. Until I can upload a digital file to Spotify and they can just play it on their own, I will not be on Spotify, just out of sheer principle. So if you want to listen to this in another way that's not on Apple, or if you want to send it to somebody that doesn't have an Apple phone, then just go to my YouTube channel, Alexa Ray Smith, and you will be able to find the Getting Into Alignment podcast playlist. And there's about 15 of them up there now, and I will be working on getting all of the rest of them up there. And let me know, like, how did this one land for you? Send me a DM on TikTok or leave me a comment on the video on my YouTube channel. I love interacting with you guys. I love engaging with you guys, and it helps me to understand where you guys are at. And I highly encourage you, like I said earlier, listening to the lives that I've been doing on TikTok, because I've been going deep into all of the different components to transformation and to manifestation and all of the different things. If you do want to get into my world, if you want to get into my academy, if you want to, I do also have my manifesto. If you want, there's a manifesto and it's $11.11, and you can download it on my website. And it will walk you through placing your order with the universe, which is a really fun way to manifest. And it walks you through identifying and shifting limiting beliefs. So that way you can start noticing them in the present moment and working on yourself to really master your mind. Because as I always say, if you don't master your mind will master you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. And until the next episode, we'll talk soon. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you're ready to go deeper and to get into my world, you can go to my website, alexaraysmith.com. You'll find all of my current programs on there. If you're desiring to get mentored by me, then the best thing to do is shoot me a DM on Instagram, and we can talk about mentorship options and which one's the best fit for you. If you're absolutely loving this podcast, please go rate it 5 stars and let me know why you're loving it. This will help me share the podcast with more people. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. And until the next episode, keep manifesting the most incredible life.